Your Olympic hero has arrived. It's true, it's true.
You're watching Fugitive Red Eye, and welcome to another book review. Normally with book reviews, I'd show, like, the book up close, or I'd show, like, a screenshot or something like that. But since I listened to this on an audiobook on Audible, I don't really have anything physically to show, and this is just an easier type of video to make, to be perfectly blunt. So today I'll be talking about the book Dear Reader by Michael Malice. Now, Dear Reader is a book that is the autobiography, quote-unquote, obviously it's not a real autobiography, of Kim Jong-il. So what it is it's a book about the life of Kim Jong-il, written from his perspective, but written by Michael Malice, an American author. And it's a satirical sort of look at his life, but it still tells the story of his life. And he based the tone of the book on a lot of actual North Korean propaganda. So it's very similar to propaganda. It's not real propaganda, obviously, because it's made by an American author. But the tone of it is very similar to propaganda. So it's basically got a lot of those and everybody clap type moments you'd expect from a book written by Kim Jong-il. The ending of it, however, does kind of feel kind of fourth wall breaky to a small extent. Because it's still written from his perspective and still written as if it's a positive thing. But the ending is like kind of confrontational, saying like, you dear reader, are you happy when you think of North Korea? Because I am, that kind of thing. Like, because, you know, North Korea, it's a scary and fucked up situation, obviously. It's not ideal for the people there, and it's a sad situation. And something probably should be done at some point, but what that something is, who knows? Because it's a tough situation, it really is. The book itself, very interesting, because it told me a lot of things I didn't know about Kim Jong-il, Kim Il-sung, and Kim Jong-un. As well as Kim Jong-nam, who I looked up a little bit after this, and apparently he died in 2017, and there's some suspicions as to why, because I guess Kim Jong-nam, the first son of Kim Jong-il, was kind of pro open-mindedness and trying to change and reform the country, whereas obviously that's not what the Kim family wanted. Had he actually stayed the heir, maybe the country would have been in a much better place. The book itself, very interesting, definitely. It gets you to laugh a few times at some of the craziness, like, you know, like when he goes up on Mount Peak 2, and he claims that he stopped a snowstorm, and then he's like, Mount Peak 2 recognizes its master. Obviously, the title itself is a pun, because it's Dear Reader, and it's obviously playing off the stereotype that Asians can't pronounce their R's. But it also ties into the final part of the book, where they actually start out by saying, Dear Reader, you know, and then it gives you this whole thing, basically asking, are you okay with this situation? And it was, like I said, it was very informational, because I didn't know a lot about, you know, the Kim family and the rise of North Korea. It's definitely interesting because, you know, it's a very controversial nation with a controversial ruling family. And it was interesting to hear about it and learn about it, albeit with a somewhat satirical, quasi-propagandist lens. It's definitely interesting to listen to, especially if you're into history and, you know, current events, things like that. It's definitely interesting. And it makes you think, because it's really sad the way they've had it over there. And you wish that, as an individual, there was something you could do about it. But again, what that something is, who knows? Because, again, it's a tough situation, because you don't want tensions to get too high, and you don't want, you know, WW3. But, it's tough. It's a tough one. But yeah, it's very interesting and informational with, like I said, kind of a satirical, kind of fake propaganda lens that makes it kind of entertaining. So yeah, I'd recommend it. It's definitely informational, fun, and, you know, thought-provoking for sure. That's my thoughts on Dear Reader. Not a whole lot more I can say about that, but definitely an interesting look at a controversial family, to say the least. This has been Fugitive Red Eye. Have a good one.
That sucked. I'm sure glad that's over with.
I'm gonna fucking die here, Jack!
Pussy.